from the Northwoods of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. I'm Natasha, your plant-centered lifestyle guide. And for those of you who have not watched my videos before, stick around until the end because there's a good explanation of what plant-centered living is. Today's video is going to be about making maple syrup. I did a video last fall about pressing apples for apple cider, and all of you really enjoyed that, and so today we are making maple syrup here on the homestead. And so my dad, Joel, will be narrating most of today's video, walking you through the process. We have a very humble operation. We have about 120 trees that are tapped, and we will hopefully, by the end of this boil, which will finish tomorrow, we'll have about 2 gallons. The sap hasn't really run very good this year yet. Additionally, I want to put a disclaimer. You'll see in these food grade containers to collect in. However, you're going to see one that isn't food grade. That actually is not one of the collection buckets. It's usually on the floor in the sugar shack. We just happen to have it on the table today. So I don't want you to think that I was trying to mislead you. So you'll also get to see our sugar shack, which is a place where maple syrup is made. It's the same place that we press our apple cider, and we also do our canning for the year. And the reason that I make these videos is to show you in a very real way some of those homesteading skills that we keep alive here, and also just to take you behind the scenes to a really neat process that has been going on for many, many, many years, and give you a glimpse into my world and the world of my family that live here on the homestead. So enjoy the video.
All right, what we have here is, I'll just give you kind of a tour of some of the equipment that's here. And first of all, we use this toboggan. It's a vintage toboggan that we restored, and I made the thing here so somebody can push in the back and somebody can pull in the front, and we can carry 20 gallons on here. And so that's what we use to go back and collect with. That, and we have another sled here that we use for smaller areas, and we can put 2 5-gallon buckets on that, and we pull that one. You can see all of the storage things that we have here to put it in. These are all full right now.
Pretty much anything food grade.
Anything food grade is out there and ready to rock and roll. You can see our snowshoes over here. Right now you don't get into the woods without snowshoes. I don't know if you can see around in here. If you go around, there's our maple syrup guard dog that's there.
And the nice lake that's formed right here in the center.
It's formed because it's warm today, and we have all this snow, and we are expecting anywhere from 4 to 20 some inches here in the next 3 or 4 days. So what that's going to do with the syrup, I don't know. It will probably shut things down for a while.
Okay.
Anyway,
So can you kind of tell us a little bit about the process maybe of how this all works and what's behind us here?
Well, this is the sugar shack. In the spring, it's a sugar shack. We call it the outdoor kitchen. And in the summertime and the fall, this is used for canning. We do cider processing here. So there's a lot that takes place here. All of the sides can just roll up or they can roll down depending upon the weather. And so it works really well to just give us a good place to do all these kind of activities.
And give us an idea of kind of, for those people who may not be familiar with maple syrup at all, like kind of what is that process? You talk about sap, and I always picture sap as being really thick and kind of like syrupy.
Sap comes directly from the tree, and which comes from underground, and it's a part of the whole process of the tree's lifestyle, and or life process, I should say. And so we tap about 120 trees. We put a little hole into the tree, a small hole, so that the tree can heal itself afterwards. There are trees that have been being tapped for 200 years.
Not here though, but
I
like in general.
Them for 200 years. I'm not that old. So anyway, they're out there, and we tap the trees, and ours is a really labor-intensive process compared to most. We don't have the lines, the vacuum system. Ours is all kind of gut work. You get out there and you go get it. And that's what we'll do.
All by hand and manual,
all by
correct?
hand and push thing, and it goes back in the woods. And
How much do we usually get each year?
it depends on the year. It's like any kind of natural kind of process. It depends on the year, depends on the weather, depends on the past summer. But we usually do anywhere between 3 is the low, 3 gallons of syrup, up to almost 20 gallons of syrup. And it takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup.
If that helps people to
That
understand
helps.
why it's
A lot of
expensive.
work. If you ever go to the store and buy it, don't complain, because it just takes a lot of work to get that to you as maple syrup. So anyway, that's what we do, and I think she'll show you the process of going out and picking up some of the sap. We use a very simple process.
Well, today it is snowing and we are headed out to collect sap from the 120 trees that we have tapped, and then we will be doing some more boiling and show the finishing off of some final maple syrup.
Got it?
And so right now we are on the trail and headed out to show the collection process. So we're coming upon a tree right here that is tapped. I'll get up as close as I can here and we'll see. All right, so what are we looking at?
Well, here you're just looking, we just use a milk jug, 1 gallon milk jug.
Can I come in close there so that I
Come in
can
close
see?
here, and I make these little hooks that go on, and they hook right into it.
And then where's the tap itself?
The tap is right here, and you can see it just dripped out. Here's the tap that goes in the tree. One of the things you have to be careful of when we tap here, there's so much snow on the ground when we actually tap that you have to make sure you bend way down to do it. Otherwise, you end up with your tap way up here to collect your sap. So, and you can see it dripping out. It's about it's towards the end of the day now, so it's now like a 1 every 4 seconds, and when it's really going good, it'll be 1 per second or 1 every 2 seconds. And you'd be surprised what that does. One little drip goes a long way.
Okay, and then you just hooked a milk jug on there. And why do you choose to use milk jugs as opposed to pails? Because people are probably thinking most times it's pails.
Well, pails are, but they're very expensive. This is very inexpensive to use, and it's very simple to use. And
then it's then we recycle those at the end of the year.
These. Yep.
So it makes it a nice, neater process.
Yes, it is.
Great.
So,
Okay. Okay. So now what you're doing is you're pouring it in, but you're pouring it in through a filter, it looks like.
Yeah, this is the filter.
Okay, so it goes right through the filter just to take out any tree debris or anything you might have, right?
There's usually bark in there, depending if you get a windstorm or something, you get some of that in there. So that's it, and you put it back on, and that's all there is. And then you go to the other 119 of them. And if you can look out through there, you see them.
It's kind of hard in the video to see them, but you can see a couple others on the tree here, and then they are throughout the entire woods.
What we're doing here is taking a look. This is our main boiling pan for the maple syrup, and over here we have the warming pan. And what I like to do is you need to get the foam off it, so it boils better and evaporates, and that goes out because I'm getting ready to.
It's hard to see that in there, the foam. Is there foam on the other pan that we might be able to get
There is foam on the other pan if you take a look at that.
Yeah, let me get a close up of that. Okay.
This is really just a warming pan, and we're going to take this and add it to. We always want to keep the main pan boiling at all times. So this one comes off, goes into this one, and then back on, and then we add more just plain sap to it. Keep going, just fill it right up. And so now when this gets warm, that gets added to it. So now we've got, and if you come on up here close, you can see there's more foam on this, and I usually try to get that off.
Okay, and why are you getting the foam off?
Well, the foam retards the boiling of it. So
Oh,
you
okay.
Get that off. and it helps it boil more. But right now, I don't know if you can tell the color of this. It almost looks like root beer boiling. It's very dark.
It's kind of hard. I can't get down in there.
The steam smells like maple.
Okay.
And it is just perfect. Right now, if I was to measure this...
And what do you measure that with? What is that?
This is just a stick that I have and wood burned the numbers on it.
Okay.
So it's about 3.5 inches. It will boil off. We keep a good fire going. It will boil off about 1.5 inches an hour. This pan holds 20 gallons. And right now, right here, this is 80 gallons worth of sap has been boiled down, and we'll get about 2 gallons of syrup out of it. And when it gets down to about 1 inch, we'll be ready to take it.
So is there 80 gallons in that right now, or you say there have been 80 gallons that have run through there thus far?
There's 80 gallons that has run through that.
Okay.
And so this is what's left of that, and it's getting very concentrated. And when it gets down to 1 inch to 2 inches, I'll have about 2 gallons in there, and then we take it off and bottle it.
Wow. Okay. Great.
When you're ready.
Okay, so one of the great things about maple syrup or making cider or any of the processes we do in the outdoor kitchen is that we get to eat wonderful food. So as you can see here, there's a Dutch oven and, well, 2 Dutch ovens, and inside of them there are vegetables. So I'll get a close-up here. There's potatoes and onions and mushrooms, Brussels sprouts and kale, and what we will do is we will put them near the fire with some coals on them. So let's do that right now.
All right, here we go. We're going to take in here, so if you take a look, this makes a ton of coals, nice good coals, and we're going to take a bunch out, and we're going to lay them right down here on this piece of metal, and then we're going to get the pans.
Got enough for 2.
I need enough for 2, so we're going to put a little bit more down here. All right. There goes one. And the second.
So you just set them side by side with coals underneath of them?
And then we actually add some coals to the top.
So this is a great way to enjoy a plant-centered meal while we're out here boiling down the sap into maple syrup. So, Mom, can you tell us, was there anything in the bottom of those Dutch ovens? Was there any water?
I put a small amount of water, maybe a cup of water in the bottom, and then I also put my beans on the bottom. I like to have the beans on the bottom.
So you have beans in there that were already cooked? Were
Yes,
they like
yeah.
pinto or black?
Yeah,
Or
I used pinto tonight.
pinto beans
Yeah.
tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. And so then how long will this take before it's going to be ready?
It's fast, maybe
Half
45
hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
And they
it's-
cook that quickly? Okay. Great. All right. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jude. I'm here for the salad and the maple syrup, and I love being part of this group. We're having a great time today.
So Jude brought us this incredible salad today to go along with our bread. You can see we've got plates waiting here for everything that's being cooked in the Dutch ovens over here. So we're going to do the unveiling of what our food looks like. All right, here we go.
Bring it over here. Here's the first one.
Oh, yum.
Oh wow, look how far that's cooked down. Oh, that looks absolutely delicious. And once again, potatoes and onions and carrots and mushrooms and Brussels sprouts and kale. Looks lovely.
And here comes
And
the
here
second.
comes the second. We're going to be eating lots of veggies, cooked veggies, and then also the salad. Oh gosh, that's gorgeous. So the whole point is, folks, is that this is a fun operation. Jude is here today as part of our family. Mom, Dad, myself, and of course Nico over there. Maple syrup, as well as a lot of these other homesteading activities, are much more fun when we have lots of people involved.
The sap has been boiled down now. There's about 80 gallons that has gone through this, and it's about probably inch and a half maybe. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
inch and a half inch deep in there. So there's just about 2 gallons there. And as you look at this closely,
And I don't know if I
there's-
can get in there to see,
there's
like,
very small bubbles that are coming up.
okay,
And the foam is starting to make a pattern. It'll be kind of an octagonal pattern. It's not there yet, but that tells you that it's getting close. So you really don't need all kind of the high-tech kind of things to figure out where it's at once you learn the signs of the syrup itself. And
so you say it's getting close, meaning
it's
what?
getting close to being syrup.
Okay,
When
gotcha.
you can, the water is boiled out of it, or most of it, and then it will can well, and
Okay.
you preserve it. as
So,
long
but
as you
you're
want.
not going to let this finish tonight, correct?
I'm not gonna,
What is,
it's
what
just
is
gonna
your thought here?
Take too long. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add sap to it.
From the other
I'm
pan
gonna-
over
From the
there?
other pan and that. I'm going to dilute it, and then I will actually finish it off tomorrow.
Because you don't want to stay up
I
all
don't want
night.
to stay up. I don't want to stay up late to do it. I'm an old guy,
Okay,
and old guys don't want to stay up too late.
okay. So you'll add some to it, and then
Jude said
you'll...
she wouldn't do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So then you'll add to it, and then you'll let it just kind of go down tonight, and then tomorrow you'll add more to it even, right?
Yep. I'm not feeding the fire anymore. The fire will go down. It will take this down about 6 inches, and then in
Overnight?
the morning I can start. I will just take it down. I'm not going to really add more than what I add tonight,
Okay,
and so I can boil it down. I don't want to make a mistake with, I want to get the syrup out of this
okay, before you add any more.
before I add more. So
Okay, gotcha.
that's what I'm doing.
Thanks.
But it's right now. It is.
Tasty?
Try that, Jude.
What do you think, Jude?
Oh, it's
Oh,
wonderful.
yeah.
It smells wonderful too.
Mmm.
Yum.
You just bring that
Oh,
in.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
all maple. Alright, we're taking this off. It's ready to go. It's all set. And we're going to put this in up.
Okay, what are you doing?
Alright, what we're doing is we're putting, getting it all set here to get our first jar and take off the syrup. It should be all ready to go. There she is, sterilized jar.
Okay.
And bringing that over here.
And using
Getting the
a
lid.
magnetic, that's really cool, to get the jar lids out. A magnet.
Here it goes. We're gonna.
Oh, wait a minute. Where's one of the things from?
Here it comes. There comes the first syrup of the season.
To be ready to
The
trigger
jars
off
are all
with it.
hot. The syrup's hot. No further packing required.
So the idea is they'll seal themselves simply by the heat, correct?
What?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, I'm coming in closer. We're capping it. Putting a lid on it. And what's next?
Put it over and get another.
And why do we flip those over,
It'll
Mom?
help seal it.
It'll help it to
Yeah,
seal?
It'll seal it.
Okay, great. So now we repeat this process. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.